Yeah, everyone, this is Thermite, and this is Taisho Wotome Otogibanashi, Volume 1. So, big thanks to whoever recommended the series to me. I'm gonna say right now, I don't remember who recommended it, but that's kind of a good thing, because I also don't remember what the series is, like, at all. um, I've burned through quite a few of my previous recommendations. Generally, like, I don't really like doing part of a series and then saying, yeah, I'm not gonna continue. It feels anticlimactic to me. And a lot of the time when I do that, I'm also depressed, which is, just a personal problem, which means that my videos end up being not good. It's something I don't want to put out. So I've burned through a lot of my backlog. I finally got to this. Let's see how it goes. I don't know what the series could be about. I'm actually really glad that the title isn't even translated because, like, it means I'm fully 100% blind. Ooh, that's really pretty. Okay. Hmm. Like, from the general vibe of it, and also the fact that the word Taisho is in the title. Like, I do know, like, I think this might take place in the Taisho era, which is, um, it's somewhere around, like, the early 1900s, I think. So there's that. There's the fact that, the outfits feel a lot older, though. Like, they feel Edo era style. Though, to be fair, Japan is very conservative, so, like, you can still see people wearing kimonos like this sometimes during festivals and whatnot. But, like, this makes me feel like maybe it's like a romance series, perhaps? She is very young, though, compared to him. Okay. And even the hats. This gives me, like, in terms of design, it gives me very big, No Longer Human vibes. Which, No Longer Human is a fantastic book, and I've read both manga adaptations of it. Interestingly enough, the title is written differently here. Like, here it's Taisho Wotome, and then Otogibanashi is like one word, whereas here it's two words. I'll figure out which one to use for the title of the video. By the way, all the color pages so far have looked really gorgeous. Like, very, very into it so far. Oh my god. Even starting off with the color page, and, like, that looks gorgeous. Okay, 1921. On a cold, dark night, a girl clad in white kimono snow arrived at my door. Okay, so, Takahiko-sama, my name is Yuzuki. I've come to be your bride. Okay, So there clearly is, like, I wasn't sure if it was just an art thing or not, but yeah, there's clearly a big age gap. Maybe it's like one of those, like, maybe she's a cousin or something and her parents died and she had to, come to his house. Also, whoops, sorry. So this is a, like, non-cleaned version of this. Oh no, even this is a different romanization. Why? I'm sure there's someone who would smile for you. This is actually really cute. So, let's see. Let's see what the actual pages look like. Oh boy. So we're starting off like that. It's this kind of series. Oh boy. He's farsighted. Fair enough. Oh my gosh. Okay. So far though, this is actually really interesting. Like the fact that she automatically patched up his underwear, and he automatically was like, no, just throw him out. So clearly, like, in addition to the age gap, there is a class divide here. Like, I was thinking maybe she was his cousin or something, but clearly she's not used to the rich life. Or, the Taisho era rich life. It's also cool because I haven't read very many things that take place in, like, the early 1900s. Like, in manga format, I mean. I've read a lot of, like, Western books like that. And I've read, like, stuff from the 50s and whatnots. And when did No Longer Human take place? Was that the Taisho era? Anyways. He's being really cold to her. My life wasn't supposed to be like this. Ooh, I was raised wanting for nothing other than love. My gosh. Okay, so that explains it. That explains the bandages too. And so his father clearly, like, he must have a bunch of other siblings. And so his father was like, all right, we're writing you off. You're going to live your life over, like, out there, away from the family. Don't bring any shame to us. Okay, yikes. Everything in the world filled me with disgust. I lost my appetite, forgot how to laugh like a living corpse. Right. Yeah, oh god. Okay, that's real heavy. And I know, like, within the first few minutes, I've said No Longer Human so many times, but this also really does fit the vibe of that story. Like, in the sense of, like, it's not that he's, like, at the very brink of the world, he's not poor or anything, like, he has stuff, but the despair of it comes from the fact that, like, he doesn't have what he really wants. He's been taken care of properly, but he doesn't, like, his life's basically come to an end. He can still enjoy himself, but he can't get that, that proper self-satisfaction. I can understand that. Like right now in the situation I'm in, like I'm oh my god. My hand's also pretty injured. I don't have a job. I can do things at my leisure right now, but I'm not satisfied. So I can definitely relate. This is the part I can't really relate to. But I get it. Now I get why he's being so cold to her. It's because like he doesn't see her even as like a wife. It's just like, oh yeah, my parents bought a girl for me to, to serve me. Like in a weird way, ignoring her might actually be his way of like trying to treat her correctly. Like he doesn't want to treat her like a slave or like a thing that his parents bought. That too, actually, yeah. Like he's already got his hand, like his hands already hurts. He's like living by basically himself in the wilderness. Now he has to like rely on a little girl. Like I wasn't sure about it considering the art style, and sometimes it's exaggerated, but clearly like he is 17, so it's not like he's super old. But still, this girl looks like she's like 8 or so, which is pretty rough. Like I can understand why he would be really freaked out by the idea of an 8-year-old serving him. Yeah, if she's just supposed to be a live-in servant, then I can tell her she can go home. But if my father really did buy her to marry me, then I can't do that. Ah. That's also just pretty disturbing in general. Like the idea that his dad would do that. Okay, yeah, so he does have siblings. Gosh, that really sucks. Like now he feels like an absolute burden. He can't help with the family. He just has to live out his days in a house. At some point when his father dies, he won't get anything from it. He'll probably like keep the house maybe, but that's it. That's real rough. That also ties back into this line. Like, I was born to a wealthy family and was raised wanting for nothing other than love. I can also see how like she'll tie into it then. Like, if she can give him anything, it'd be love. I think okay, like maybe it's something else, but I think she probably was like his decision here probably does make sense. Like she probably is from a super poor family who sold her off as a slave or like as a wife. And so the reason why she's so gung ho to help is because she wants to work off that debt. Like she wants to like prove her worth. Oh, really? Judging from the way she talks and carries herself, she's probably from a wealthy family. I didn't get that at all. Like especially because of the underwear thing. I do love this idea of an innocent and naive girl. It's so over the top. Yeah, do you see any friends of mine I can tell? Wait, what? My hair gets all wavy. It makes me look like a yokai. Maybe that'll be part of it. Like, especially because these do look like animal ears. That said, this is also a really cute looking design. Like, my gosh. That's why she has her hair like perma braided like that. So it doesn't poof up. God, that's so cute though. All I ever wanted was straight hair, but no matter what I do, nothing works other than braiding it. I can relate. Aww. Alright, she finally broke the ice. Yeah, I don't think it's weird. I think it's cute. That, like, she really does look adorable like that. Especially because, like, her body's so small. Having her hair loose like that really makes her, like, physically feel bigger. Like, not in the sense that she looks fat or anything, but just, like, she takes up more space like this. I guess, like, in a shot like this, it doesn't feel as weird. I guess also because, like, he's crouching down, he's in the water. But, like, I don't get that deep sense of, oh, she's a lolly because of all the hair. I mean, it's a cute thing to worry about. Right, compared to my worries, it's cute. I wasn't saying that you're... Aww. Oh my gosh, and yeah, like, all this time, he hasn't had an appetite. Now he's finally hungry. He's finally, starting to go back to normal. I really don't want Yuzuhu here. I was ready to just rot away, live out my pathetic life, and die here. Ever since she came here, she's made me mad, made me laugh, and even made me hungry. Aww. That's so cute. Alright, so it seems like this is going to be a slice of life with just the two of them, which I could be into. It feels very comfy so far. Okay, cleaning up the house. Sure. So, at the very least, he might be an ass man. He was definitely looking at it. Come on, guys, though. A short poem that sounds odd if translated into English. I mean, a lot of poetry does sound weird if you give it a literal translation. I'd say either, like, play around with it, or if you can't, then still translate it anyways. Like, just... The reader will understand. It probably sounds better in Japanese, but, like, it's content, Make the content happen. Aww. That is really cool, though. Like, yeah, it really does help to have some human interaction when you're like this. I'm alone. Nobody will be sad when I die. If that's the case, it's fine if I never wake up again. Yeah, she is super duper innocent. I also do appreciate that in the first chapter we got two worries. Like she has two worries, one of them is her hair. I think the other one's going to be really dark. Like we maybe won't get it in this volume, but I do think like the other shoe will drop at some points. And at that point, like she'll get more deep as a character. But before then, I want some fluff. I'll take the fluff when we can get it. Wait, she's 14? Really? So they only have a 3-year age gap. Like it's very, very doable then. Like because of like not just her design, but also like her in contrast to him. I thought she was like 8. Okay, maybe it's a result of life in the dormitory of a girls' school. Sure, sure. That's kind of cool. Like so she wasn't like ultra super duper poor. And he did say that, she seemed like she was like from a rich family. So yeah, I guess it's something like, she was from a kind of noble family. They took on too much debts to his family, and then in order to even the score, she was sold off. Because that also means that, like, you don't have the stigma of your shut-in son having married a commoner or anything. Like, she is like noble in her own rights. Yeah, this felt a little awkward. Hmm. Let's see though. Like, I'm really curious to see how she feels about this. It clearly like this wasn't her idea, but she seems to be making the very best of it, and she was incredibly patient with him. Oh wow. Okay, so it can barely hold on to this paper. Like, okay, like yeah, like he's literally just putting down his hand. Again, I can relate. I was de-skinning some chicken recently because I still want to do stuff, and God, it sucks to like I can move my fingers. Like they move okay. I've got a bandage on this one, so it doesn't have like full range. But like with this, like this is less than useless for a lot of things. It's honestly better at some points to just use it as one big lump to like lift things or like hold things in place. It sucks. I am glad though that this is my left hand. Like it's on the right side of your screen most likely, but it is my left hand. This is my right, so I can still do everything more or less normally. Like I am right-handed. This situation would be so much worse. That doubly sucks too. Like it's not even like he was cast out and told like, you shouldn't do anything. It's like no. Like you can't succeed me, you can't take over the company or whatever it is that his family does. But at the same time, it's like, oh, by the way, you should go to school. You should do things. Um, even though I don't have any hopes for you, do things anyways. That does suck. Though that said, he is a very pessimistic character. So I think like Yuzu might be right. It's possible that his dad really does care for him a lot more than he lets on, and he just doesn't realize it. Right. Like he would really just have to learn how to do everything, not just with one hand, but also with his non-dominant hand all over again. Like I think it's worth it, sure, but I can see why he'd not like it. God, that's so cute. That is insanely cute. Uh Man, human contact truly is the greatest thing. Like this isn't really helping his problems or anything. She's not giving him advice, but just like that hug is so it's so important. Right, why are you so nice to me? Not even my own family. Okay. So she was bought for 200,000 yen. Also, this is 1920s Japan. Like the yen has gone through some insane nonsense. Right then the yen would be I have no idea. I don't know why I said that as if I knew it off the top of my head. But I know like each yen would have been like around $1 or so. Like it was worth enough that the sen and the rin, which are 1/10 and 1/100th of a yen, were like legitimate currencies of their own. Like you could get them as coins and stuff. They were important. So that's way more than $200,000. Right, I thought you'd be a violent young master who would use me like an object to make me cry every day, but the reality was different. Oh, this is true. Like we saw her at the door, but we never saw like what happened after that. Although you're being Kurtz, you are a very sincere and kind person. Aww. That is really nice. Like, yeah, even though he was a recluse, and even though like he refused her help multiple times. He was never mean to her. He never like yelled at her or anything. I think that's really cool. Like all she really had to do was warm up his heart. Like I also really like that idea that she went into this assuming things would be 10 times worse. Like so bad that he can't imagine what she, expected from him. That's really cool. Does she not know how to doubt people? No, I think it is honestly like she does know how to doubt people. It's just like what you have done just by virtue of being yourself is that impressive. Which is something that I think a lot of good people in this world don't fully understand. Like just the idea of being normal, being like the way you think is like average can be pretty like enormously better than other people. It doesn't mean that you should be complimented on the fact that you are average, but like it is something that is impressive. Like it's something that people can compliment you on, but they shouldn't have to. Okay. Oh, whoa. All right, so he has a bit of a perv. Fair enough. Like, I actually really do appreciate that. What do I do? It's my first time. I don't have the slightest idea on what to do. Oh, boy. Okay, different futons. That's actually really cute. Like, she literally just wanted to be in the same room as him, which also is pretty nuts. Like, she's meant to marry him, and they've been sleeping in different rooms this entire time. I think that's really cool, too. Like, it actually fits what I was just saying about, just talking about before. Like, their perspectives are so different. His thought was, oh, she must mean we're going to have sex. To her, like, the idea of just being in the same room as him was that big. We can't. I'm still a maiden who hasn't even experienced first love. That kind of thing has to wait until marriage. That's also really interesting. Like, it is an arranged marriage. She is outright saying, like, no, I'm not in love with you, but I will devote myself to you. Like, I am going to be your wife. It's a concept that I don't like necessarily, but I do find it romantic in a way. Like, I do know people who have been in arranged marriages. I myself am the product of an arranged marriage, actually. But, like, I like the concept, but I wouldn't want to, like, make someone do it in real life. I feel like, being able to choose your own spouse, it has its own problems, but it is interesting in its own rights. But, like, I do like this in the context of a romance series. Or even, like, a rom-com. Are you a woman who can give your own chastity to a man you don't even like? And nope, that's not what she meant at all. It's not like she will, continuously not like you. It's that she wants to like you. Also, this layout is so good. Like, I really love it. God, she is adorable. Yuzu is really an unbearable girl. There's no way. Really unbearable. What a way to ring in the new year. This is awesome. Also, right now in the current anime season, we have 2 separate series that are about a like an older woman with a harem of lollies, and it's some like I don't want to say degenerate, but like it's the kind of thing I wouldn't really check out for anything other than the comedic value, because like I'm not a fan of lollies, like I'm not a lolicon, so in that sense, like I don't really like this from a lewd perspective, but from a cute perspective, I think it's pretty great. And I really do appreciate that it is like it's set in the Taisho era, so it's not even a situation like a modern situation with modern values. It is one where it's like it's weird in its own sense, but the series acknowledges that it's a little weird and it's not that weird. If that makes any sense. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling. I appreciate how the series how this series presents this age gap. Plus, it's not even a big age gap. Like it's just 3 years. She just looks younger. As opposed to the series I'm talking about, which are series with straight up adults and then actual 8-year-olds. Oh man, come on. I'm not someone who rags on subgroups a lot, but like, come on. This is actual content. These are 4 comas. And I really want to know what this one is. Like, she's talking about her hair. It looks like it should be adorable, but I can't tell. I can't tell. I want to understand the true depth of her embarrassment here. Come on. Oh, and these are bios too. Darn it, this is all important information. Oh, this is cute. Like how to put on a yukata. Man, that's adorable. I am curious about how you tie the bow there. Like, do you just tie it on your front and then swivel it around? Or do you actually like tie it in a way where the bow shapes itself on your back? In an age without developed electronics, snow falls across the lands. That's an interesting thing to note. Like, I assume that's a like a editor comment, but like just the fact that they bothered mentioning that, like they're saying like, yeah, this is a period piece. Something about that feels really weird. Like they're breaking the immersion, but at the same time, it feels like that's being done for specific effects. There's no way my wrists or fingers can move, but it feels like they are. Oh, that sucks. God. Um, like I can't relate to that now, but like just the idea of like phantom limbs, like phantom movement is the worst. This wouldn't be a phantom limb because he still has it. It's more just like the sensation that something should be able to move even though it can't. Ah, it's the worst. Okay, to escape reality, I've made reading a daily routine. Okay, and it's porn. Of course it's porn. Wow, amazing. Look how much bigger it got. Oh no, oh no. It was getting to the good parts. Is it manga though? Like, I want to see the actual pages because if it's just text, then it probably isn't that big of a deal. Like, she might peek at the text, but she wouldn't be able to read it that quickly. Though then again, because there's an image here, I think it might be like it might be meant to be a manga. For her age, Yuzuki sure is lacking curves. Her butt is nice, I guess. Okay, so that shot of her butt was meant to be like, yeah, like he's into the butts. Also, like, I guess he's looking at her lips in that shot. I wonder if they'll mention that though, like, because she's so small, and like she's from a good family too. She was at a dorm. I is she just a late bloomer then? Hmm. Okay, now then, I must know what happens after the kiss. Jeez, he stayed up way too late. Oh well. This is good though. I'm a big fan of the being taken care of when you're sick trope. Aww. God, so intimate. Tamahiko-sama, why are you holding your breath? I wonder how this is going to develop though, because there is also that problem of like, he clearly sees her as like, it's an obligation. She's here not of her own free will, which I can understand why it would be difficult to, to go too far with her with that, like in your minds. So how are they going to progress? Are you here to kiss me? I won't do it. Aw, that's absolutely it. He left like at first I was wondering if it was because he like was worried or something, but no. It's because he was like he was just lonely, I guess. Yeah. I felt the same way when I caught a cold before. No, I think they are honestly much more similar than he thinks. By the way, I do appreciate the sound effects are translated. Right, my body gets heavy, my head feels empty. It's as if I became a child again. Aww. Yeah, like, that is the appeal of someone taking care of you when you're sick. It's something you can't really do most of the time. Yeah, that's one hell of a nightmare. Yeah, don't hold it in, you'll feel better afterwards. Oh, that sucks. Like, not just being comforted by someone who is, someone who is your junior and who looks even younger, but also vomiting, I think, onto them? Like, it looks like, yeah, because she's holding him pretty close. He might be just vomiting onto the ground, but I think he's vomiting on her, and she's like, she's trying to keep her cool. Yeah, they're there. Oh, even that, like, it's not even that she was standing near him, like, no, she was leaning down, like, she was on, I forget what that's actually called, but, like, she was sitting down, so he vomited into her lap. Like, that takes some heavy, heavy, how would I put this? Like, it takes an insane amount of empathy and kindness to let someone do that and, to just be cool with it. I appreciate anyone who's, like, that powerful. Oh, that too. I was thinking about it as just like, oh yeah, like, it's a pain that, he vomited on her. But no, like, those are her only good clothing. Like, I forgot this takes place in the Taisho era. Jeez. Because of her, my good conscience is covered in cuts. And even that, like, the fact that she doesn't blame him for it at all. She's completely fine with the fact that he vomited on her outfit. It's probably ruins. Oh, man. Okay, what are we doing in Tokyo? I am really interested in seeing, like, 1920s Tokyo, though. Oh, okay, so I kind of thought we'd just drop it because so far we've been dropping a lot of things, but no, no, no. So this is, like, coming right off of that. That's fair enough, though. Like, yeah. You only had those 2 sets of clothes? I guess that makes sense, like, oh, that's crazy, though. Like, I'm assuming at her the place where she was at before, she probably had a school uniform in addition to like these two sets of clothing, but like she can't wear her school uniform here. They probably took it with them, or like I mean, the school probably kept it when she left. So yeah, one outfit now. Jeez. Also, it is pretty wild to think about like an ad slogan from the 20s. Like it feels like I don't know how like when I think of the 20s, I usually think of like, the Great Depression, World War 1. Like I rarely think of like consumerism and whatnot. That feels like it came out of just the 50s fully formed, even though I know clearly it didn't. Hey, okay, this is actually really cute too. Like, it's not just that we're getting to see how he puts on his outfit, but also, like in the previous one, because she is, she's the wife slash kind of the servant. She had to put hers on by herself. Whereas with him, like he's, she helps him put it on, especially because of his hands. That's really cool. Sugoi, sugoi! Even the fabrics are amazing. Aw. Okay, let's buy both. Damn. Okay, this is how the pages are supposed to line up. Okay, good, good, good. That is quite a flex. This is 12 yen, that one's 10 yen. All right. Oh boy, okay, yeah. So around 50,000 yen or $500 USD. So let's say that 10 yen equals 50,000 yen. That would be, yeah, so that would be like any of these prices times 5,000s. She was bought for, saying bought feels so weird, but I mean, she was. Let's quickly do a thing here. So it was 200,000 yen times. I'm sure I could do this in my head, but I don't want to. Wait, that can't be right, can it? Is it? What? Oh, wait, no, 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 no. Okay. I was thinking about it as like, this is a billion yen, which is insane in its own rights. But I forgot, like, a billion yen right now would be $10 million. Yeah. Which is still a lot. Like, holy shit, that's a ton of money. It does explain why she had to be, like, sold off, though. Like, that's one heck of a debt, then. My god. So, yeah, that puts things into perspective. Like, I knew that she was, like, clearly she was sold for a lot more, but I didn't fully understand how much more until I did the math. God. Also, that's super interesting. Like, yeah. They're just about to explain it, so I'm not gonna like do my own diatribe. Oh, come on, guys. They clearly like screwed up the script here, or like the typesetter put the same thing down twice. Come on, no, I want to know what was in this. But yeah, unlike now, fully made clothes are not sold in stores. Like, you just have to make them yourself. That makes a lot of sense. Right, one piece of clothing would be remade into other things over and over and over again until it just, the fabric no longer works for anything. Yeah. Especially if those were like, the two bits of clothing she had. Like, or like the two outfits she had. My gosh. Yeah, I did something I cannot undo to your clothes. Like, because of that connection. Like, what if that was her, like, mom's kimono or something? That was the first kimono that I made. Okay, yeah. That's still pretty rough, though. Oh, she's so optimistic. Right, one day this will be the first gift for my lover. Then it'll be the first gift for my husband. And then it'll become something that's precious to my life. Like, man, she is really looking down the long, long road. I'm also really glad that she's doing that, though. Like, she's committed to, like, to making this love happen. Like, even if she doesn't love him right now, she wants to let that love grow until it is a genuine relationship, which I can live with. Like, it's not something that makes a lot of sense with like modern like Western cultural standards, but for a society that's all about like arranged marriage and stuff, I think that's a really great outlook to have. How can she say such embarrassing phrases without changing her expression? Whoa, the effing escalator! I want to eat ice cream. Oh man. Come on, do it. Be a cool dude. Buy your ice cream. My, what a shameless girl. Oh, whoa, how lewd. Yeah, especially in Japan. Especially in, like, 1920s era Japan. My gosh. Oh, it's so cute, though. I also do appreciate that she didn't even do it because she was trying to push the relationship. It just came to her naturally. And even then, like using his one good hand when something was about to knock her down, he immediately instinctively tried to catch her. Like he is, I think, genuinely a good person. Aww. God, that's so adorable. I can feel my blood getting slower and slower as the pure liquid sugar is being injected into it. Yeah, that's true too. Like she doesn't have a pattern to it. Like she has to just do it like just by I guess like just knowing how to sew. Like even my mom's a pretty good sewer. She's a good seamstress, but I imagine like a lot of her work is like she can do it very quickly because she has a top like a high end sewing machine, and she has patterns, and she has like knowledge on how to do like really special stitches that you probably couldn't do by hand, or like if you did do them, they'd take forever. So I can really appreciate this, like her just slowly working on this over time until eventually she has like a fully formed kimono. Huh? I didn't say anything. Oh boy. It does look really cute. Like, I don't know if I like it more than the other one, but it is like it's more elaborate, I suppose. I also do appreciate that even though like the patterns are pasted on, they are like how do I put it? Like small alterations are made by the mangaka so that it doesn't look just like a pasted pattern. If that makes any sense. Like I really appreciate that. I hate it when a series like just takes an image or like just a pattern and just like pastes it onto a sketch and it's like, all right, so that's what it looks like. It takes a lot of efforts to make something like this look good, and I think this looks pretty good. Looks like I've charmed you, Tamahiko-sama. God, so cute. Ooh. Okay. First of all, come on, guys. Translate these. Like, I'd like to know all of his siblings' names at the very least because they're there. That said, this feels very no longer human. I keep on making that connection because I guess it is like the one thing I've read that is close to like, this point in time. But man, especially like, the scribbles over the faces. Hmm. I just realized this is also a full family photo, right? Because this was his mom who is now dead. I assume. If it's not his mom, like if his dad remarried, then that's even more insane that this wasn't translated. Um, None of these kanji match, or this kanji does in all of them, but they're not all the same. So, what does that mean then? Like, I assume this is or no, this is probably a title, and then this is the last name that they all share, and then this is the first name. But then what was this then? Because this is also different for everyone. All right, here's the recap once more, as always. I do think it's the kind of series that you could just jump into, so it makes sense that they would occasionally recap it. Or like it's weird because they're recapping it every single chapter, but I assume that's because this is the first volume. Like it's still in that process where maybe someone won't have read they didn't read the very first one, so they want to just jump in here. In the name of recuperation, father banished me to this villa in the middle of the mountains in Shiva. Right. Hmm. I've never been a fan of like Western anthologies and how they'll usually have a like a page that just summarizes the series, but I do like that concept because like it means that the actual series being done doesn't have to do it itself. Like in modern manga where like how do I put it? In Shonen Jump in Japan, they don't do that. So occasionally a manga does have to do a recap of like, hey, so this is the this is the concept of the series. Whereas like in like some Western anthologies, they'll just have a page, or like even the English Weekly Shonen Jump had a page that was just like, hey, here are some important characters, here's the scoop, here's what the series is about. You can just jump in here if you really want to. Which didn't really help with Weekly Shonen Jump because, in Japan, those series don't have recaps, so the series still has to do recaps occasionally. But I don't know, like I think that's just efficient. And then in the actual volumes, you can just have like a character page. Though I guess this is the first volume, so they didn't do one. Whatever. Aww. Still unable to get used to this gallant attitude of hers. Yeah, she is like she's insanely gentle. Also, I do like how intimate they are, honestly. Like, they feel more intimate than some modern, like, relationships I've seen in manga, which I really like. Because, like, because of the setting, the mangaka could have easily used that as an excuse to have a, like a, like almost a we never learn-esque relationship where, clearly they have to reset constantly. They can do lewd things, but everyone's always ashamed of it. I really appreciate that's not the case here, though. Like, the characters clearly do have something going on. He doesn't really love her, but, he appreciates the attention. And she doesn't love him, but, she is just a naturally very intimate person. Like, it's a really cool scenario. And I appreciate that other people get embarrassed, but even he gets embarrassed a bit, but it's not that often. It's not a gag or anything. I guess that's honestly it. I like the fact that it's not a gag. I like that, it is a little funny, but it's not like the punchline of the series. Hmm. Okay. Presumably, the content must be filled with reprimands for me. Now, because it's an express letter, I have to assume like something else is happening. Like someone got hurt or something. Hmm. Okay. I understand your intention of not going to school. I will not say anything regarding this matter. Hmm. Okay. The fact they have a foolish little brother who's not even going to school and just living in reclusion could bring shame to the Shima family and the engagement might be cancelled. As a father and the head of the Shima family, in order to be able to settle with these suitable marriage partners, I have decided to make you dead in that previous accidents. Jeez. Okay. Oh my god, that's rough. Like, not even like, oh hey, I respect you, live out your life, but no, just like, well, in that case, if you don't want to get a job, then you are literally dead to me. Like, the family is just going to say that you are no longer alive. I think that it could be the sole filial piety that you could do for the family. Right? Jeez. God, that is extremely fucked up. Like, wow. It's not the most cruel thing in the world, but again, like, I was talking before about, that, the kind of problem you can only have when you're rich. And I think this really fits into that. Like, it's not like he's losing his house. It's not like his dad's going to stop paying for, his life. But, like, it's that straight up exclusion of, well, you are literally just dead to us. That is, oh my god. I feel so awful for him. I think it could be like good in the sense that going forward, he doesn't have to worry that much about them. Like they won't come around, they won't bug him. It'll just be the two of them and maybe some friends that he builds along the way. He might have to get a new identity though, so he doesn't spread around rumors. But still, jeez, like I understand why he doesn't want to talk to her now. God, more than your death, it is also fine to use for you to strongly convince yourself that your brave older siblings are having to bear with the death of the younger brother. That's a weird way of putting it. It is also fine for you to strongly convince yourself. So, is it like, do they all know that's a ruse that he's, alive but just, out there? Or is he just saying, like, hey, you should pretend that the family thinks that you're dead because they really do think you're dead? I guess it could go either way. Yeah. If you want to die, then it's better if you die. If you do that, the family too and I too will feel relieved. Jeez. Like, that specifically. Like, it's not even that he's trying to restate it in his own words. Like, no, that's also part of the letter. That's really fucked up. And not, like, there are many situations where you can say, like, oh no, you shouldn't feel like you want to die. This is a situation where, like, I fully understand why. Like, his parents have said, yeah, you basically are dead to us. And yeah. God. This means that if I die, there's going to be a lot of people benefiting from it. And I guess that also means that, yeah, like, theoretically, like, if he's gone, she doesn't have to kill herself or anything. She can just be free. She can take some money, go off, live her own life. She's not going to, but God. I guess dying a resentful death while cursing the whole world suits me, huh? Oh. Yeah, she's finally, like, not being bubbly. She's actually upset at him, which makes sense considering what he's been saying. And I can even understand that. Like, I do deal with that myself, where if there's something really dark or there's something I want to talk about, like, I have referred to it in my friends in a very, like, I will come out with certain things that are, like, really rough in a very joking, dismissive way because I don't want the full impact of it, which is a super childish thing to do. I've been doing it less and less, but especially when I was a teenager, I would, like, dance my way slowly around explaining that, something horrible happened to me in my life. Uh, I totally empathize with them over it. If those are words that are painful enough to make you want to cry just by trying to say it, then you're not allowed to say them. Right. That's a good way of putting it. Like, what are you trying to do by adding the wounds yourself? Like, you've already been hurt. You shouldn't have to be hurt even more. Okay, that's a good way of putting it. Even though I won't be able to meet them again, as if we were truly separated by death, but somewhere I'll be living happily. That's how I thought of it. Right. Like, that is cool. Like, she was put in basically the same situation. She's just never complained about it because she just has a completely different outlook on it. That's really cool. Oh, Yuji's words sometimes have a little truth. So it seems like just like casually at the end of this chapter, he came up with a nickname for her. That's really cute. Aww. Oh boy, that's super rough though. Like, um, I'll take a short break. I need to think about that. Jeez, what a chapter. All right, we are back. Sorry for the wait. I don't really have anything else I want to do, but continue. That got really real. So, how is she going to distract him? Okay, do you want to go out for a walk? I've got something I'd like to show you. Okay. And yeah, he can't say no. He can't say no when you look at this. Like, God, she's so cute. All right, always definitely all the way with you. Let's see. Okay, huh. Um, there's also a village here, which is interesting. Like we've never explored the village. As the audience, we saw them go all the way to Tokyo and back, but we never actually saw, like, assumedly they had to go through the village to do that. We just didn't, see it. That's interesting. Because, like, especially now that he's been disowned or like left for dead basically. Because of that, he most likely won't be allowed to go back to Tokyo. Like, he shouldn't be recognized. Therefore, I guess he could spend a lot more time just hanging out in the village when he needs, to stretch his legs. Even though I've been living here for months. This is actually really cool too. Like, it's not just that he hasn't noticed any of this because he was a shut-in, but also she knew about all of this. Like, that is wild. Like, Yuzuki has been taking care of the entire house. It probably doesn't get very dirty, but it still gets dirty. She has to take care of the entire place. She also has the emotional labor of taking care of our main character. And then on top of all of that, like, she has to take care of herself, she has to do the laundry. So, like, to think that she also had the time to, just walk around. It's not like it's ridiculous. It's not over the top or anything. It's just admirable that she still decided, like, okay, well, let's not stay cooped up when I have a little free time. Let's walk around. Let's see what the place is like. It is, like, that's a big tree. It looks like there's something inside. Okay. Ah? A small fox god. Okay, so it's like an altar or a statue. Yeah, that is really cute. Oh, and he's losing himself in it. That's cool. Yeah, your expression finally softened up. Like, considering what he just learned, like, there's no reason why he wouldn't be super tense. I'm really glad that that's, he's relaxing, if only a little. Yeah. Aww. Ooh, that's right. He's only got one hand. Is he going to sip water out of her hands? Wow, that is such an intimate thing. I've never done that before with anyone. I mean, I guess I've never had a reason to do that with anyone, but still. Like, just that visual is really, really cute. It's actually way more intimate than kissing someone on the hand. Like, if you kiss someone on the hand, it looks incredibly formal. It's like, it's like kissing the queen on the hand. It's so formal that it honestly doesn't feel intimate in the slightest, even if you're doing it between, like, two people who do love one another. Whereas this, like, it's the combination of a pose that looks like you are, you're giving someone something, combined with, this primal urge, like this primal action of drinking life-giving water. Like that combination of, I'm drinking something that is vital to my existence directly from your hands. I might be reading a bit too deeply into it, but man, that's also just a thing I haven't seen most, like, I don't think I've seen a single other series do that. Maybe in, like, text, like, maybe in prose, but I don't think I've seen this visual ever. Aw. Oh, okay. Alright, this is good, this is good. Like, in addition to just they haven't really done anything leisurely in the house apart from, general shenanigans. But now they have a thing they can do together. Like, if nothing else, they can at least go out together to visit the shrine. That's man. Like, it's so how do I put this? When you're depressed, a routine is literally everything. A routine is so incredibly useful. So in this situation, like this isn't like clinical depression or anything, but it's like it's still a form of depression. And it'll definitely do them some good if they can go out and, have fun in a structured way where they don't have to think about it. They don't have to come up with something. They can just automatically do it. Yuzuki is a spring storm. Along with the gust of wind, she blows away the darkness. What comes after the dark, cold winter is ah. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Like, generally when this kind of thing happens, I read all the, like, the narration, and then I read all of the actual text, but, like, the fact that the narration bleeds into what she's saying, that's so cool. Absolutely masterful. Hmm. Okay, even if their colors are different, flowers will always be delicate, strong, and beautiful. This is a character we haven't seen, I think. This might be one of his sisters. Like, we did get that spread of them, but again, because I don't have names, I find it so hard to connect like one design to another, unless it's like a super goofy design. So okay, Spring Ran by Fast. It's now the beginning of summer of Taisho Year 11. This is also pretty nuts. Like within the first volume, we went from the end of Year 9, then we got the new year, then it's like Year 10, and now we're in like the summer of Year 11. Like time's really moving. It's also really interesting because, like, in another series, I feel like time would have to be slower because, if it's a series that's set in a school, for instance, you've got exams, you've got to, like, take great care to figure out, like, when certain things are happening. But in this, like, they don't have to worry about holidays, they don't have to worry about birthdays. It's just the two of them out here in this, like, house, basically cut off from the rest of the world. As much time can pass, like, tons and tons of time can pass, and their dynamics don't really have to change very much. Also, ooh, he doesn't like summer. That's good. That's actually like it's not good, but I relate to him deeply because of that. I love the cold. Like right now it's cold as heck outside. It is minus like 25 or so. And that's fine by me because I don't have to be out there right now, but even if when I do go out, I can bundle myself up, I can stay warm. Whereas with the summer, you can't really escape the heat. Like you can go somewhere that's air conditioned, but that's about it. Like you can't do very much with your body to make yourself cooler. Whereas like I find that making yourself warmer is relatively easy, and I also just am naturally very warm. In the blink of an eye, more than half a year had passed since I came to this mansion and started living with Yuzuki. Yeah, 1922. Wow, wow, wow. No, it's not like I want her to like me or anything. I don't particularly care about that. Oh man, are you pushing her too far? Come on. Hmm. Yeah, please do not push yourself. Like, it's only the two of them too. And he's like, especially since he only has one hand and he is like the son of a noble, I don't think he could take care of her if she gets sick. Oh, oh boy. Good day, Tamahiko Nisama. Also, that's like, I haven't been saying his name a lot because I know Tamahiko is, at least I think it's the name of their family, right? What's his first name? And yes, this is his sister then. I am the little sister, Tamako. Oh boy. Hmm. Okay. Okay, yeah, and at least she has been told, like, "Yep, you're a dead man. Like, you have no rights." Gosh. 5 yen per person. Oh boy. That's like that is pretty heavy. Again, if we do the math. Oh no, did I close it? Damn it, I think I did. But it was what, times 5,000? Or was it 50,000? No, I think it was 5,000. So that is $250 each, basically. Okay, at that time, a month's salary for maid was around 5 yen. So around 100,000 yen. Okay, so whoa. So that's yeah, that's a cool $1,000. Okay, first of all, my math was very wrong. But also, that's pretty crazy. Must be hard for you since you okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Like, the two of them have been together so long that I didn't really consider how it would feel to have a third person in the dynamic, especially someone who is, like, clearly antagonistic. Oh, I am a splendid 14 years old adult woman. Like, I do like that because I genuinely thought she was, like, 8 when I started reading the series. Okay, no shoulders tuck equals proof of adulthood. Sure, sure, sure. Oh my god, okay. See, when I saw this, when I saw 14 years old, I forgot that it was Yuzu saying it, and I was wondering, like, okay, so they're about the same age. No. Oh my god, Tamako is younger. She's 12 years old? Whoa. Like, I can definitely understand that. She looks more like a 12-year-old than Yuzuki does. Because, like, when I was 12, I just hit my growth spurt. I do know that boys tend to hit they tend to hit puberty earlier than girls, but still. Like, I was a beanpole, so I can definitely understand, like, how you could be, like, how you could be 12 and look like that. This is honestly, like, Yuzuki is the weird one here. Oh, that's right, she doesn't like her curly hair either. Oof. This little sister of mine, just like this, makes use of other people's insecurities to throw harsh words to them. Yeah. Especially because she's noble, like, she must be so used to, like, insulting people in a way where they can't immediately fight back. Or where they don't even realize that they should be fighting back. Yeah. Hmm. They were acting all sad to get sympathy from their marriage partners. It was really bad and so fake. Oh, okay, also, so that is actually his name. Good to know. Tamaki. They also have all T names, which is interesting. I guess their family name is Shima then. Okay, okay. Fair enough. Hmm. Okay. At that time, mandatory education was only until common elementary school. Sure, sure, sure. Only the children of wealthy families continue to study. Okay, so that's yeah, that makes sense. Hmm. Okay. So Tamako went to like a super elite school, and then Yuzuki went to a not so elite school, but like her parents were still like rich enough to send her to a school at all. Hmm. Right. So she's the youngest, and yet she's the most capable. It's classic, like youngest child syndrome. Hmm. Oh, so she took a break, and then she was scolded specifically because of him, and now she wants to give him a piece of her minds. Hmm. Okay. Ah, it's so weird, especially because this has been a very like openly emotional series. To have someone who is much more guarded, like someone who's guarded and who also wants to attack others. It's definitely a big change of pace. Hmm. Okay. So she is still isolating herself here for whatever reason. Hmm. Okay. Oh, that's right. Yes, she isn't aware of the hair. Oh, does she think it's cute as well? It was incredibly fluffy. I thought it was some kind of a new species. Hmm. Oh, milk caramel. Oh, that's also like it's most likely something they wouldn't teach you in elite in an elite school. Like it's very much a housewife thing to do. Ah, slowly winning her over. Aw, okay. She's so creeped out over it. But yeah, like I really like that, especially because now we have like, a third person who can look at this relationship. Like it's very clear that like Tadhiko didn't really like he didn't earn this at all, but she's still doing the very best she can to be like a wife. It's interesting enough that yeah, if you look at it from a complete third person perspective, it's very strange. Oh, and she even like individually cut and wrapped each piece? That's nuts. Whoa. Aw. It's so oh my god. God. These two. They're so insanely lovey-dovey. Hmm. Yeah, like, I wonder how she's going to change as a result of this arc. Like, she feels like she's too hard of a nut to crack with, like, just one arc. But at the same time, like, it's pretty clear, like, she's also being relatively open now. Like, before, at the very start, she seemed like she would be really difficult to deal with, but, like, in the kitchen, she was very open. Oh, oh. Okay, best thing to do as, her future sister-in-law. Cover it up, wipe the floor, make sure that, God, I forgot his name again. That Tadhiko doesn't know about it. Yeah. It's that pure, that pure self-sacrificing nature of hers that's insane. Like, I think heating it up is especially really cool because, like, she has to do it in the rain with her mouth. That really is, like, extremely intimate. When I think that I want to do something, my body just kind of moves on its own. Like, she's so insanely kind that it's almost alien. Oh my gosh. She did a complete 180. Yeah, something has genuinely changed in her. Like that's a genuine smile. That's really cool. Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh boy. Like she did push herself too far. That's really interesting because like at the very start, not even in that chapter, in the previous chapter, we did have that little hint that yeah, she was pushing herself a bit too much. Or no, it was in this chapter, wasn't it? Yeah. God, that was really good. That was really, really well done. I'm actually really happy that she is here now, though, because like I was just saying that um, Tamihiko most likely can't take care of her if she gets sick. But if his sister is here, then like with three hands between them, I think they'd probably be able to at least like get her started. Ah, like that combined with the fact that like that she actually genuinely likes Yuzuki now. All right, we've got it. We also had a caring arc, like a let's take care of Tamihiko arc. So now we can reverse it. Now we finally have the let's take care of Yuzu arc. Oh, that's super cute. It's also really interesting that, like, again, it's two shots of him just reading at different ages. Whereas with this one, like, she's interacting with other human beings. He hasn't like I assume that means that in this chapter he'll most likely contribute like not with actual labor but with information. Like he probably does know how to take care of someone, he just hasn't ever done it properly. Whereas, like, clearly this entire time she's been contributing her ability to communicate with others. It's not, that's right, look away. Yeah, even though she's like, yeah, that's incredible. The fact that she's worked this hard, and even now that she's sick, she's still, like, all she can think about is helping them. Ah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. She knows that if I, who is not good with talking to strangers, were to want to go get a doctor, it would take a long time. Fair enough. And, like, drawing the water is also a good way to have him do something. Like, it's a little difficult, but it's not the worst. Like, he's still having some trouble with it, but, like, it's something he can do. It's something he can, like, do and then think, all right, I helped. Oh, man. That sucks, though. Like, even though it is a very simple task, he still wasn't able to do it. That's okay. So it's the opposite of what I thought. What I thought before was, at the very least, he'll contribute something. He'll feel good. It's the opposite. He couldn't do anything. He only made the floor wet. He only made things worse. Oh, what? They're doing so while looking down on people. Hmm. I'm not sure what he did wrong then. I guess it's just the body build thing. Like, he's literally looking down on them. But even then, like, what was he supposed to do? Like bow down? That's real weird. This I can understand too. Like, even though she did pay them quite, like, incredibly well, I could see how, like, from the outside looking in, it might seem like he was treating them all like slaves. No, she wasn't. She did it all herself. But again, I can absolutely see why the outside looking in would assume that she was, like, being treated as a slave. And even then, like, if he were to say, she's not my maid, she's my wife, the doctor would just be like, well, how in the world would you treat your wife like that? Like, why? Hmm. Right. Please be plenty careful so that it won't become something that can't be taken back. Okay. I mean, while while this is a nasty part of her, like, I understand why this is good in this moment. I have been stopped many, many times by people, and I'll end up in conversations I can't get out of. I really appreciate the power to, like, to use kind words while clearly stating, like, this conversation is over, leave. But even there, like, he's still grumbling over it. Ah, man. Hmm. Okay, is that a threat? Not even that. Like, it's not a threat as much as it is just a general insult. To be fair, she is a 12-year-old. Like, this wasn't a great way to, to leave it off, especially if they ever need him again, but uh, what can you expect? Ah, okay. Yeah, so it is literally just because they happen to be tall. That's pretty weird. I guess that does make sense though. Like, they're like, it's kind of a how do I put this? Like, now that nutrition's gotten a lot better in Japan, there is this, like, mental image of older people as being super small and younger people as being really tall, just because of, the fact that more young people are getting proper nutrition, they're becoming bigger and stronger. I guess that actually makes a lot of sense then. Like, even though Yuzuki isn't, like, even though she wasn't from a poor family, it makes sense that she is smaller than someone from a much more noble family. Like, she's, I didn't consider that at all. That's such a neat dynamic to the series. Like, now if we see characters in the future, we will be able to tell, like, through their heights, how, well, I guess not how well off they are, but, like, that just the fact that their height can contribute to it. Combined with the fact that his family in general is just going to be super tall. But yeah, like, he didn't lash out because he felt guilty. Like, even if he wasn't the one who forced her to do it, it's still, like, the facts are the same. She did all of that, and she got sick because she was the one doing all the work. But she knows. Oh, that's true. Like, she was being overworked anyways, but this really was the final twist. Not even making her go out. Like, she did of her own accord, but she went out in the middle of the night in the cold when it was raining to stoke the fire. Aw. And even that, like, The fact that he didn't step in and say, "No, I'll do it." Like, he understands she is definitely better suited to take care of Yuzu. Man. Especially for a family that seems to be very stunted and, not very emotional. It's pretty crazy that, like, the two of them might be showing the most emotion they ever have to each other, or, like, the most emotion they've shown to each other in years. God, that's a great visual. Like, yeah. Keep on staying at a place like this. Hmm. Just like that right arm of yours. That's also just a good analogy in general. Like, he understands how terrifying it is that, his arm just doesn't work anymore. Like, oh boy. No, don't push yourself. Mm. Okay. Yeah. In a time like this, he isn't even a little bit dependable. But she isn't even thinking of her own care. She's thinking about him. Like, no, if I leave, he'll be lonely. I've got to be around for him. That is a very difficult situation to deal with. Like, just knowing that your friend is being, I guess, bullied, but even just like abused by their parents. A heart that once got caged in a shell cannot be easily changed by other people. It's because that person's heart only belongs to that person. Hmm. Okay. That also explains why it is that she's so persistent. Like, it's not just that she's like, that she's super optimistic. It's because she's had experience like with this before. Like, she got this advice. She knows that if someone's all caged up like that, you need to just give them a lot of stimulus. And that explains her actions so well then. Like, it's not just flights of fancy that cause her to, to come up with different things to do every single day. It's because she knows, like, intentionally that will help Tamihiko. Hmm. Right, no matter how long the time passes, you should be the only one who keeps believing, be beside her more than anyone, and watch over her. Aww. Yeah, that is one hell of a wife thing to say. Mhm. Like, she has absolutely shown her wife dominance in this moment. Mhm. What? Wait, what? Oh, geez. Is she having pneumonia? Like, the weird thing is that the blood's there specifically. I guess because she's wiping her hands, because she's coughed blood up on it. But even that looks more like it's bruised, like she scraped her hand on something. Hmm. Take it out. Okay. Yeah, you've got to do it. But okay, that does make sense. Like, it is clearly an abrasion. All right. I mean, even if it does feel kind of lewd, at the same time, like, it is a medical situation. I've always felt that in a medical situation, seeing someone naked is incredibly different than in any other situation. Like, it is inherently less sexual. Not non-sexual. Like, don't worry, a medical fetish is still a thing, but it is, I think, less sexual. Hmm. What a strange delusion. Maybe she's part of the Yakuza. Yeah, I love that he is repeating that in his mind. Like, yeah, this is first aid. This is first aid. Oh wow, she is actually like surprisingly. Hmm. Actually, is that why it was so tight? Because like they've been bound so tight that she's always looked like a lowly quote unquote. The idea that she has like, oh, that also explains why she has so many layers to it. Like, I kind of just assumed like, oh, that's probably what Isarashi is like. But was she intentionally binding them because like she didn't want to look too sexual? Ah, both are really big worry for me. That was the other one. Oh my god. I honestly did think it was going to be something relating to her family or their debt or whatnot, but that's her second thing. Like, she's self-conscious about her hair, she's self-conscious about her breasts. Hmm. Before something irreparable happened to you, maybe it'd be better to put a stop to this relationship. It looks like she's binding them again. Like, I really hope that he tells her, like, hey, stop doing that. Like, you should be comfortable while you do what you do. I guess that might be like, I don't know if they had braziers in Japan at that point, but there's got to be a healthier way to do it. At that moment, my heart felt like it was gripped tightly, and a thought rushed up to my brain. I want to make Yuzu happy. I want to become a man who can do that. Ah, I love the way that's phrased too. A faint flame lit up within the darkness of pessimism. Like, he's finally gotten what she's been thinking about all along. Like, it's that idea of wanting to serve someone else. Like, not, I guess even serve is too strong a word, but just like, that desire of, I want this to make this person happy. I want to make this person pleased. It's something that's very hard to do when you are depressed or when you're like, spiraling down. But it really has a powerful sentiment. Okay, are we doing a backstory chapter? Early Taisho 10, 1921. Okay, so this was like right before then. That's interesting too. Like, it's not even just that her family was, kind of rich. Like, no, they were actually not super well off. Like, she couldn't buy snacks. That's interesting. This is your punishment for making fair maidens ask for seconds. We're gonna stuff you with food. Aw, these are some good friends. I'll willfully pay for my sins. Man, so she really was like the dorm mom in a way. Yeah, she is basically a mom. Okay, so yeah, this is like, it's not even like she got the letter out of nowhere. So like, she's already got the letter. She already knows that she's going to be married off. Man. Right, to help out with my parents' debt, I decided to marry the son of our lender. Okay, so it is actually exactly what Tamahiko thought it was. Like, it's not even ambiguous. She did get married to him because of the debts. No matter what kind of person he is, I will do my best to serve him because he'll be my dear husband. Yeah, so even then, like, she'd already resolved herself. That is pretty amazing, like, honestly. Right. No matter what kind of person you end up marrying, because you work harder than anyone else. Aww. That is legitimately super cute. You can always run to me if they treat you badly. I'll write you letters. Aww. Oh, it was a bonus chapter too. So I guess after that's like the author notes maybe. But wow, that was really nice. This like it's first of all it's setting up a character that I hope shows up. Like I could see some interesting drama coming up as a result of someone she knew meeting her and like having to deal with the fact that she's like 14 years old and she's already a wife. At the same time, like, oh man. I guess I will read the author thing before I do anything else. Okay, so yeah, what is the name of the series? Or, oh, okay, so it's specifically referring to the Otome part of it. Shoujo is used to describe an unmarried woman between the ages of 14 and 25. Sure. Oh, wow, so she wrote that last one in the hospital. I guess if she was also getting sick near the end, that might actually explain, like, why the sickness arc happens, weirdly enough. That's very raw. Like, that's surprisingly more raw than I thought when it comes to a series like this. Wow, okay, well, that was, Taisho Wotome Otogibanashi. Because that's also how they wrote it out in the author part of it, I'm going to use that as the title. Overall, really good first volume. My gosh, like, it's so... I wouldn't even call it, like, pure or fluffy. It's just... Like, it really does capture that Taisho era feeling. I really relate to the main male character. I think that Yuzuki is amazing. It's... I just can't get over how well done this was, really. I'm so used to, like, romance series where nothing really happens, and I really appreciate that, like, they are growing closer and closer and closer, and we don't have to worry about the confession. Like, I guess we will still have a confession at some point, because so far they don't love each other. Like, they are set to be married. She is essentially his wife, but they, like, they still had that, well, technically, you're just someone who, like, works in my house. Technically, we are, we're not in love with one another. So I am excited to see their love grow, while at the same time, I really like the fact that they are already like deeply within a relationship already. It's not a traditional relationship, but I think that's honestly really distinctive then. I don't have any like clear desire as to what I want from this in the future, but Like, it is just so cute. My God. Seriously, Yuzuki is amazing. I hope that I hope that the characters do learn from their mistakes. Like, I don't want Yuzuki to collapse from unconsciousness again, like from overwork. I really want them to have a more equal relationship. Not necessarily that they'll become like deeply in love husband and wife immediately as of the second volume, but I'd like them to be somewhat more equal. I'd like them to understand a bit more about one another. That's really all I want. I want that closeness. And if we can get them to be properly in a relationship before the end of the series, that'd be nice. Because I would like some genuine, like, I am your husband, you are my wife, like legit relationship-y chapters by the very end, as opposed to just growing closer and closer together. All right. Well, that was Taisho Otome Otonogibashi. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Bye for now. Nya nya.